Getting exposure on Google is always super important for real estate agents, especially in a market like we find ourselves in today, where it's an incredibly hot seller's market, and sometimes that exposure on Google in front of a highly qualified seller might be the difference between somebody listing with you and somebody listing with another agent that is on the top. Hey, how's it going? My name is Borr, and welcome to my channel, The Real Marketer, where we help real estate agents like yourself level up your careers and level up your life through marketing and strategy. So, as I'm sure you know by now, we live in a crazy hot seller's market, and exposure on Google for really highly qualified sellers is the place to be. So I'm going to get into 15 different ways that you can optimize your Google My Business profile so that not only can you get to the first page of Google in an incredibly short amount of time, which will get you that sort of exposure and get you those listings in front of those highly qualified buyers even, but it will also allow you to stay there, because there's going to be other people trying to take advantage of Google My Business to knock you off of that first page. And if you can optimize your profile with these 15 steps, you're going to secure your spot on the first page of Google, and nobody's going to be able to knock you off. So the first thing that I always suggest that people do for their Google My Business profile is to put a keyword into the title of their actual business. So let's say you're in Austin, Texas. If you want to have realtor in Austin or Austin realtor as your keyword, then you would say first name, last name, hyphen maybe realtor in Austin, and then the name of your brokerage. And that way, if somebody's looking for a real estate agent in Austin, a realtor in Austin, if the keyword that they're searching is an exact match of the keyword inside of your title, now obviously that's going to help you with the algorithm. However, it's really important to make sure that you're not overdoing it with the name. It has to actually be a name of your business. So I could very easily be called Oliver Borr, real estate marketer. That could very easily be the name of my brand. And so if somebody was to type in real estate marketer, then they would find me. Obviously, I'm not a local business, so I wouldn't even have a Google My Business page. However, as a local business, if you could have your first, last, and then realtor in, or whatever keyword you want to focus on, followed by the name of your brokerage. So that's the first way to optimize your profile. The second thing to do on your profile is to make sure that it is complete. There are a lot of fields to fill in on Google, and the more information that you can give to Google, the absolute better. So that means have your health and safety protocol because of COVID on there, for sure. Have your hours of operation, have your cell phone number, for sure, your email address, your website, absolutely every piece of information that is practically relevant to you, add it. And if it's not 100% relevant to you, for example, let's say you work primarily over the phone with people, particularly in this time, and therefore COVID health and safety protocols aren't really applicable to you, create health and safety protocols to put in there anyway, because the more information you can give to Google, the better. So really try to fill in your profile as full as possible. The third thing to do is to keep your services and your attributes up to date. So make sure that, let's say you become a listing agent, make sure that you include that into it as well. Let's say you do a lot of open houses, whatever it is that you like to do, however you specialize, make sure that those attributes and services continue to stay up to date, because the more up to date it can be, obviously the higher Google will rank you. The fourth thing to do has to do with consistency, and consistency plays a big part in the ranking of your Google My Business profile, so that'll come up again. However, with this one, I'm just going to talk about consistency of hours. Make sure that if you have another listing and your hours of operation are, I don't know, X to Y on that listing, make sure that they match. And also make sure that they're up to date, particularly when it comes to holiday hours or special days, whatever it may be. Make sure that you include those inside of Google My Business, because if Google can see that you're active and continuously updating your Google My Business profile, they will know that you are still in business, and they will continue to rank you higher than your counterparts that maybe are not putting the same time and attention into their Google My Business profile. The fifth thing to do is to have a very well-written description about who you are, what it is that you do. Include your keywords into your description. So again, sticking with the example of realtor in Austin, I would say, hi, my name is XY. I am a realtor in Austin, and I love to, write about a 250-word description of yourself. Now, when you are writing those keywords inside of your description, make sure that you are not spammy, because Google hates spam. Everybody hates spam, honestly. So if you're writing, I'm a realtor in Austin. So if you're looking for a realtor in Austin, I'm a realtor in Austin because I help other people because I'm a realtor in Austin. If you do that, Google's going to shoot you right down. They're going to see what you're trying to do, and they're not playing games, Google. So do not play games with them. Play within their rules. Do not make it spammy, but definitely write a 250-word description approximately with a keyword inside of your description. The sixth thing to do is to continuously update your events, your offers, your what's new, wherever it's applicable. Also, your keywords can be slotted into this as well. Again, I keep on saying it, please make sure that it is not spammy. However, every place that you can update your profile is going to really just give you a slight boost. So again, update those events, update your offers, update your what's new. Definitely post to Google My Business. An offer could literally be, I don't know, a free home evaluation. Obviously, you'll always give free home evaluations to anybody that might be listing their home. But if you can continuously create different ways of making offers, that will also certainly help you as well. So keep that updated as well. The seventh thing that you can do to optimize your Google My Business page is to upload images and videos onto your page. Also, please make sure that the file name of the image or the video that you are uploading also has the keyword that you're ranking for. Again, don't overdo it. However, keywords can be added whenever it is applicable. And if you want to rank for realtor in Austin, you can also say real estate agent in Austin as well. Kind of mix it around a little bit like that. But upload your files, upload your images and your videos to your Google My Business profile, and Google will read the name of the files that you actually are uploading. So even if you have a picture of, let's say a picture of yourself, realtor in Austin, or let's say you have a picture of, I don't know, a house in Austin, you could say real estate in Austin, something like that. So the more you kind of add those images and those videos, and then you change the file name, because Google is obviously reading what's going on behind the scenes, that's also really going to help the algorithm. The eighth thing that you can do to optimize your Google My Business profile is to use accurate categories of what it is that your business actually does. So Google continuously updates these. Your primary category is going to be the most important, but like I said, Google continuously updates these, so make sure that you keep your eye on them as well. I created a list of some category suggestions for you. You got commercial real estate inspector, industrial real estate agency, real estate agents, real estate surveyor. So there's a bunch there, but make sure that you're using accurate categories for it. And like I said, the primary one is going to be the most important, and then you'll also have some secondary categories as well. The ninth thing that you can do is to show how long you've been established for. That's not to say that Google only cares about you if you've been around for about 25 years. However, if you can show how long you've been around for, then it makes you a little bit more viable in Google's eyes. And like really all that Google's trying to do is they're trying to show browsers the best answers to their queries. So if somebody's looking for a proper real estate agent, Google's going to want to show them somebody that they know is still in business. And if somebody's actually in business, what they will do is they'll say how long they've been in business for. So make sure that you include how long you've actually been in business for and how long you've been established for. The 10th thing to definitely do is to add your own branding and your logo. This is not only for Google's purposes as well, but it's also so that you do have a brand out there, because the earlier you do this, the more exposure you're going to get, the more legs that your content is going to have, and the higher you're going to rank, and the more firmly solidified in there you're going to be. And when you're going to be there, it's really important that people can recognize your brand. So make sure that you have your branding, your colors, your logo inside of your Google My Business page, so that you are easily recognizable, not only to Google, but to the browsers as well. The 11th thing that you need to do is to set up Google My Business Messenger. It depends on the service that you have. I know anytime somebody works with us at Inabox, they're automatically added a Google My Business Messenger as well. But this really allows customers to actually interact with you directly from your Google My Business page. And this is a fairly new service that Google's rolling out. So obviously they're going to give priority to the agents that are actually using their service, using their system to its full capacity. So definitely, if you could be one of the early adapters for Google My Business Messaging, that's going to send a message to Google that you're all in and that you're ready to leverage the platform the way that it's meant to be leveraged. So again, leverage Google My Business Messaging. Make sure that is a feature on the mobile part of your Google My Business page, and that will certainly help you with your ranking and your optimization. The 12th thing to do to optimize your Google My Business page is to not only get good citations for your business, but also to make sure that they are consistent across the board to get good listings for your business. What that means is, let's say you may have like a Zillow profile, you may have a Google My Business profile, you may have a Yelp profile. I know that there's for other industries, let's say Foursquare, whatever it may be, but make sure that any listings that you have across the board are consistent. Not only get high quality ones, so obviously Google My Business is a really good one, Google Maps, Apple Maps, those might be good ones to have. But so not only should you get good listings across the board, like high quality ones, but to make sure that they are consistent. The reason that is necessary is because even though people may not be going to Foursquare to look up a name or a business or something like that, but when Google's seeing who they can rank higher, obviously they're looking for legitimate businesses. So if somebody's looking for a real estate agent, Google wants to show those people agents that they know are actually still in business. And if Google will scour the internet, and if they see that this person has, I don't know, 30 listings that are continuously updated and that they are consistent across the board, obviously that makes you a lot more viable in Google's eyes. So when somebody's looking for a real estate agent in Austin, assuming that your keywords are set up right, assuming that your Google My Business page is set up right, then Google really what they'll do is they'll scour the internet to see, is this person truly a real estate agent in Austin? And how will they know that? By searching other sites and other platforms and other listings as well. So make sure that you have other listings across the board, and make sure that they're high quality, and also make sure that they are consistent, because that is one of the biggest factors when it comes to ranking your listing. The 13th thing that you should do to optimize your Google My Business page is to interact with any reviews that are left for you. So Google obviously wants to see any interactions. They want people on their platform. So if you can interact with any reviews, answer any questions that people may have, any negative reviews, 100%, that's super duper important. Respond to negative reviews. They're not a bad thing. Well, obviously positive reviews are better than negative reviews, but a negative review is not only an opportunity for you to show your personality and show how you address negativity, so it is an opportunity, but it also shows Google that you are willing to interact with your reviewers, both positive and negative, and that's obviously going to do you wonders. So make sure that you interact with your audience, both in terms of reviews and in terms of the questions that are being asked, and that will also give you a big boost in terms of the algorithm. The 14th and second to last thing that you should do to optimize your Google My Business page is to make sure that you're not making too many changes at once. So if you are going to make, let's say you have 5 changes to make 1 or 2 changes, wait until they're approved, wait a little bit of time before you go ahead and make other changes, because if you're going to be changing 6 things at once, that's obviously going to raise some red flags inside of Google. These profiles, although Google is less volatile, let's say, than Facebook, but these profiles are very fickle a little bit. They're using automation, obviously, to scour the web and make sure that everything that's up there is viable, legitimate, and if you're changing 10 things at once, that obviously causes some sort of suspicion for Google. So if you are going to be making a bunch of changes, don't make too many of them at once. Make a couple, 1 or 2, wait a little bit, wait about, let's say, a week until some time has elapsed before you go ahead and make some other changes as well. And then the 15th and final thing that you should do to optimize your Google My Business profile, I've said it about 5 to 10 times already in this video, but do not be too spammy with your keywords. Yes, your keywords should be everywhere and anywhere that you can put it in, where it is natural to put it in. However, I've never read a book, or let's say a listing that has realtor in Austin 15 times without thinking that's weird. So how many times are you reading a book, let's say, and they say the same thing like a bunch of times? It just feels weird. It feels like it was written by either a robot or somebody who didn't really care about the work that they were doing. So make sure that you're not spammy with your words. Google really, honestly, the way that they operate is they try to replicate, let's say, human behavior in terms of analyzing what is legitimate and what is not. So if you are reading a piece of work and you keep on seeing the same thing coming up again and again and again, or even think about when those salespeople tried to reach out to you and they sounded spammy and you knew that they weren't actually interacting with you, you knew that they were just, I don't know, putting in some type of chatbot to speak to you. Like, for example, they say, how's real estate going? And you say, not really good. And they go, that's great. Like, you're obviously not talking to a person now. You're obviously talking to a script. So Google will obviously see that if you're using the same keyword again and again and again, it is spammy. I cannot stress this enough. I know you're probably like, boy, this guy's going on and on about this. It's super important. That's why. Do not be spammy with your keywords. So there you have it, the 15 ways that you can optimize your Google My Business profile, so that not only can you get to the first page of Google, but you can actually stay there once you're there as well. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, please do not hesitate to like this video, subscribe to the channel. I cannot tell you how much it helps the algorithm, especially because this is a new channel. I am trying to start growing it. Please leave comments below and ask any questions that you may have, and I will make sure to answer each and every single one of them. Until next video, best of luck with this. Please let me know how you went about this. If you did manage to optimize your Google My Business profile, I want to know how long it takes you to get to the first page of Google. As long as you're doing it right, it shouldn't take more than a week. So best of luck, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.